Hey, Dream Drivers, welcome to episode 327 of the Dreams and Drive podcast. Today is going to be a solo episode, and we are going to be talking about closed mouths don't get fed. I feel like this is an important concept for us to understand and to utilize as dream drivers. So that's going to be the focus of today's discussion. Sit back, put on your seatbelts, and get ready for the ride. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Have you thought about your car personality? What's your vibe? Do you like the classic fully gas-powered engine? Are you a best of both worlds type, driving on battery power while keeping gas on reserve just in case? Or are you more inclined to choose a convenient hybrid ride? Whichever your vibe, there's a Hyundai Tucson to match and powertrain to get you there. Hyundai's 2023 Tucson lineup pairs the tech you want with sleek and stylish designs. They paid attention to all of the details, the seats, the dash, the available panoramic roof, you name it, Hyundai thought of it, all while making sure each trim has enough room to hold space for your grocery runs, festival nights, and tailgates. Okay, Hyundai, when it comes to your journey, Hyundai is there for every mile. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more about the 2023 Hyundai Tucson. The 2023 Hyundai Tucson plug-in hybrid is only sold in California, Colorado, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Dream drivers, life is sweet and made even sweeter when spent with the ones you love. Savor the moment, big or small, with a delicious bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink, or for a new favorite sip whenever you get thirsty along that dream driving journey, check out the full Starbucks ready-to-drink coffee lineup online or wherever you buy groceries. Because with Starbucks coffee, you're always ready for the right now. Hey, Dream Drivers, what is up? I am super excited. It's been a long time since we've had a solo episode. There were so many things that I wanted to talk about today. I had this really cool concept. I thought it was dope, but when I actually sat down and started to map it out, I feel like what I was going to talk about is probably better suited or better served for another day. So we're going to leave that topic for another day. But today we're going to be talking about closed mouths don't get fed. But before we get into today's subject, if this is your first time listening, hello, welcome to Dreams and Drive. Make sure that you're following us across social media. We are Dreams and Drive across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and use that hashtag Dreams and Drive. I love when you guys are engaging, are following us, and all that good stuff. I'm always in the DMs, and I'm always trying to just make sure that I'm engaging with you all. So please make sure that you're saying hello, you're dropping a note. If you haven't already signed up for our email newsletter, The Keys, go ahead and do that right now. Just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. So today, right, we're talking about closed mouths don't get fed, but I want to also give you guys an update on everything that's been going on with Dreams and Drive. So last week's episode 326 with Kia of Lux K, was a video podcast, and I really loved all the engagement, all the good feedback that I got on just having visuals associated with the podcast. This is also a test for me. I want to make sure that, if I go ahead and invest in videos, that it's going to mean something to you as listeners. And what I'm finding with that episode was on social media, there was a lot of traction, but then people who were actually watching the full episodes weren't as high. So, I feel like this is something that you guys can take away in whatever you're building with your dream driving journey. Do tests, make sure you're understanding the metrics that you're testing for, and figure out if it's working for you. I'm not counting out video podcasts. I feel like I need to just continue doing that, continue building my YouTube audience, and also continue letting you guys know that there's other ways that you can engage with the platform. For over, 6 years, you've been so used to just audio only. So now it's time for me to pivot and to also help you understand how you can also listen to the podcast that way. Or maybe you guys just like the shorter clips, and maybe it's not about you watching the video interviews in entirety, but maybe it's about having access to these visuals that are showcasing important parts of the interview that you want to go back and listen to the full thing. So I am trying to understand that. So thank you for just staying tuned with me and helping me as I navigate this new space that I'm in. Other things going on with Dreams and Drive, we're coming up on 7 years, and it's crazy because time really does fly. My son is 2 now. I can't believe he's 2. 7 years of dreams and drive. And sometimes I sit back, and I say this a lot, so I don't want to seem like a broken record, but sometimes I sit back and just say, wow, like, could I have been doing more? And I think that there's something in there for all of us is, why don't we ask ourselves that? Why do we always say, could we be doing more? And why don't we ever just sit back and say, yo, you have done so much. You have done so much. So I'm going to flip that on its head as we're approaching our 7-year anniversary. I don't have any specific plans yet. I'm not trying to be out here comparing it to what other people have done or have done for like less significant, or not even less significant, fewer anniversaries, right? Like 2-year, 3-year anniversaries. Like 7 years is a big deal. And I just want to say that I'm proud of myself for getting to this point. I'm proud of you all for rocking with me. People who've been rocking with me from 2016 up until now. You've seen so many changes. You've seen so much growth and development. And I know there's so more to come. And I'm not giving up on this dream, y'all. I'm really not giving up on it. I'm going to continue to build and grow it as fast, as slow as it grows or whatever. Like, I'm down here for the ride. And that's what being a dream driver is all about. So let us get into this idea of closed mouths don't get fed. So what's the background here? You probably heard me talk about this if you follow me on social media, my personal page, Rain Shine Love. I also post this on Dreams and Drive Instagram as well. But a few months back, I started to do this series called Raindrops in the Morning, where, as I'm doing my morning commute to dropping my son off at daycare, I'm saying that in quotes, he's with my parents during the day, I do these little short messages of these 60 minutes of wisdom. Normally he's in the back just looking out the window. Sometimes he's engaging. But, in these 60 seconds, I try to share a quick nugget that I think will be helpful to you, to the viewer throughout the day. And so one of the nuggets from this particular Raindrops in the Morning was closed mouths don't get fed. And it legit is about an eating story and something that happened to me when I was at work. So let me tell y'all the story. So you guys know I work at Paramount, and I'm in the office twice a week. And when I'm in the office, I think of it as my luxury day, right? Like, I'm going to make sure that I get my sweet drink in the morning. I'm going to get my sweet little croissant that I love. I actually cheese danishes. I love cheese danishes in the morning. I'm going to treat myself to lunch. And for the past few weeks, I've been on the sushi kick. We have a really good in-house sushi option at work, and I love the shrimp tempura sushi, and it comes with this delectable side of seaweed salad. And so, it's like not a lot on the side, but it just comes on the side. And I'm always like, I wish I could order just a side of seaweed salad. But unfortunately, they do not have seaweed salad as just a side. So, I was wondering for so long, like, how can I get more seaweed salad? I need some more seaweed salad. And normally I order the sushi through an app and I pick it up in the cafe, and there's no human to human interaction. But there is an option for you to order in the cafe and wait for the chef to bring it out. So I said, you know what? Let me do that one day. So I decided to just go in person and order the sushi dish and wait for the chef to bring it out. And when he did, this is what I said to him. I said, hey, I really love your seaweed salad that you have on the side. Can I have an extra on the side? And his first inclination was to tell me, we don't offer that. We don't have that. And I said, I know you don't offer it, but is there any way that I can get some seaweed salad on the side? I'll pay for it. Just let me know. And he looked at me and he paused. And then he said, you know what? I'll bring you out some seaweed salad. And when I tell you guys, I was so excited about this. I know some of you may be thinking, girl, you are tripping over seaweed salad, but it's that good, at least to me. And so for him to make an exception to the rule and to accommodate me and to really show great customer service and to say, you know what, we don't do this, but because you asked, I'm going to find a way. That's the message that I want all of us to really think about, right? What if I never asked? Closed mouths don't get fed. If I had never asked, I would have not literally been able to get that extra side of seaweed salad in my tummy. Very simple concept, very simple message, but there's so many big takeaways here. And here are some of the things that I thought of that I wanted to share with you because I think that it makes a lot of sense, right? Number one, opportunities don't always come to you. Sometimes you have to make the opportunity or go to the opportunity. And let's use that in the context of this story. There is no side available. There's no way that I could have ordered more seaweed salad logistically. It just did not exist. The opportunity wasn't going to come to me. I had to find the opportunity. I had to put on my thinking hat and say, all right, how can I go and get what I need? I have to have that face-to-face interaction. I need to verbally explain and plead my case to the chef, to whoever was in the cafe who could potentially help me. Dream Drivers, what's up? It's summer and I know we all are on the quest for the perfect beverage to quench our desire for refreshing. So here's the question. What have you always wanted to try? Is there something that has been a dream of yours, a flavor, a taste that you just really need to get at? Gold Peak Real Brewed is here to unleash your thirst for trying. Real brewed tea, real cane sugar, real delicious. From sweet tea, unsweetened tea, green tea, California raspberry tea, Georgia peach tea, lemon tea, lemonade tea. There are so many options to find what's best for you. And this summer we need to try something new, try something brewed, because nobody wants to be dream driving with a dry mouth or thirsty. We need that fuel to be at our best for this ride. So take this as your sign to say yes, opt in, go for it. Because trying is what life is all about. Try Gold Peak. And by me realizing the opportunity wasn't going to come to me and I created an opportunity, that's where a lot of our, success will come in life, is thinking about, all right, the opportunity isn't coming to me, but how can I create opportunities? With Dreams and Drive, no one was hiring me to host a podcast, right? But I said, you know what? I think I'm going to be a great podcast host. I will create my own podcast. I'll create my own network. And I've always had that mentality. And I just think it's something that a lot of us need to think about. It doesn't always come naturally to a lot of people, but I think it's something that can be taught and that can be practiced. When opportunities don't come to you, how can you go to the opportunity and create a path for yourself to shine? Number 2, you got to think about how much are you leaving on the table by not asking? I'll recount this. I think a lot of times, and this is a different path in a way, especially when it comes to sponsorship and negotiation. A lot of us are not asking and we're not realizing what's left on the table. Just because somebody's offering you something doesn't mean that's all that you can get. Have you ever heard of some restaurants have secret menus, some restaurants have, chef's orders, things that you can request? Don't be afraid. Because there's so much that's being left on the table. There's so much that your taste buds, your palate is not being able to consume because you just aren't asking. And people don't always give you or tell you all that there is for you to experience. So I do feel like it's up to us to really unearth that we have shaken the table as much as we can, and that we're taking as much as possible out of a situation as we can. So remember that. Ask yourself, how much am I leaving on the table right now? Is there more that I can get out of this? And I'm saying, use this with discretion. Of course, you don't want to just be out there trying to milk everybody dry. But there are some cases where you really can advocate and you really can try to get more if possible and see how a situation can fold in your favor. Always be tactful. Always show your discretion. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with asking at all. Number 3, you cannot expect someone to know how to help you. Meaning you can't read people's minds, right? And I say that because what if there are other people like me out there who really like the seaweed salad and wish that there was a side, but no one speaks up. No one says anything. Everyone just accepts things as they are. Oh, it just comes with the sushi on the side. You can't ask for a side dish. Maybe other people have before, maybe other people haven't. But imagine if enough people complained, or imagine if enough people petitioned. What that could have mean? That could have mean that a seaweed side is added to the menu, right? Maybe management wasn't thinking about that. Maybe they didn't realize there was a demand for this addition. But once there is a demand, right, you can supply that demand and people will pay for it. So I just sometimes think about that when it comes to dream driving, is you can't always expect people to know how to help you. And sometimes you have to advocate for yourself and say, hey, this is what I want. This is what I need right now. How can you help me do this? How can you help me achieve this? I want to have this guest on my show. I'll never forget this. I put out an ask to my Princeton alumni group. I said, hey guys, I have this podcast. I'm really trying to grow it. Are any of you connected to people who would be great guests? And one of the people who responded was Jennifer Lewis's friend's manager, friend of Jennifer Lewis's manager. She connected me with Jennifer Lewis, and that's how I was able to get Jennifer Lewis on episode 145 of the podcast. Life isn't always about being lucky. It's about making and being intentional with your requests and how you put yourself out there. So remember that, all right? And that connects to number 4 of blessings can be yours if you ask. Blessings can be yours if you ask. You can get that seaweed salad that you really want if you ask for it. And if you are willing to put yourself out there. And I think there's so many things that we count ourselves out of. That was another message, like, don't count yourself out before you even try. And that was me talking about, like, I had some IKEA furniture and I was just putting it together because I thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. I looked at the instructions one day, it looked too complicated. I tossed the instructions and never looked at it again. But then I said, you know what, let me sit down and see if I can do it. And I sat down. It was a little bit hard in the beginning. I got things wrong, but then I got the hang of it. And I put together not one dresser, but 2 dressers, almost by myself. So think about what that can mean in your life if you couple that with closed mouths don't get fed. Ask for it. Sometimes you can ask for help, but at the same time, sometimes you just saying this is what I need can put another opportunity in front of you that you can then leverage for your own dream driving journey. So I'll let that sink in for a little bit. But all right, if closed mouths don't get fed, you want to like start doing this in your life. You want to start having these changes. What is that going to take? It's going to take something. And here are the 3 things that I think it's going to take, right? But I'm going to give you a quick commentary before this. So I was talking to my cousin on Instagram. You know how you have like Instagram messages where you're talking to one person on Instagram, talking to that same person on TikTok, and also via text messages and also on the phone at the same time. So we were having one of those conversations, and I was just telling her a little story. And she said to me, Rana, you don't take the word no. No just doesn't exist to you. And at first, I didn't really understand what she said. And then she explained it and said, like, people tell you no and you just don't take them seriously. You just keep going until you can find a way. And I thought about it for a second, and I thought about, wait, that is true. When people tell me no, I don't always take that as the final. No is never a final for me. It's just, all right, I got to figure out something else. And I have to figure out how to make it happen. And I think having that mindset is really important, especially when dream driving, because there are going to be people who are going to say no. And there are going to be opportunities that you want that you have to advocate for yourself for. So it's going to take 3 things, right? Confidence, courage, and persistence. Confidence, knowing that you can do it, that it's all right. You're going to try. Courage, because you're actually going to need something that's going to move you. You can have confidence, but no courage and no confidence. The 2 can go together, but at the same time, the 2 can be mutually exclusive. And that persistence, meaning like, if you got rejected, are you going to try again? And that goes with the other thing I want to say is with these closed mouths don't get fed, you have to be all right with being rejected. You have to be okay and have a willingness and acceptance for rejection, because this game is not easy. That chef could have told me, sorry, we don't do that. I could have asked again. He said, sorry, we don't do that. And at some point I might have to accept, all right, in this situation, it wasn't gonna happen, but at least I tried. And I think those 3 words, at least I tried, mean a lot. At least you tried. You advocated. You said, I want something. I'm going to at least try. And that's the biggest thing. That's the mindset shift as dream drivers that will really take your life from park to drive, is saying, at least I tried. Because now you're gonna leverage that and move that to other areas of your life. And you're not going to just take no for an answer. You're going to see something. You're going to be like, how can I adapt this to get what I need? How can I leverage this? And it's not being selfish, right? Me wanting that extra seaweed salad was not me being selfish. It was me saying, I have a desire. It's something that I want. It doesn't exist, but how can I create an opportunity for this to exist? And you never know. Maybe that could help somebody else. Maybe me just telling someone, hey, I asked and they gave it to me, gave someone else the courage to ask for something that they wanted, and not knowing, hey, it could be given to you. Whether that be a job promotion, more money at a job, a relationship request. There's so many things that you can apply this to. And so I just want you to take some time right now to think about, what's the reward of all of this, right? I think it's the same thing that we talked about. Confidence, courage, persistence. You're building up your inner tools, your arsenal, those keys to success that will help you throughout life. The reward is vast. Opportunities are what you get when you ask for things. Closed mouths don't get fed. So that basically means when you open your mouth, you are never hungry. That means you're always going to figure out, what is there a way? Solution oriented rather than problem oriented. Right? You don't see problems. You just see ways of getting a solution. You see ways of getting to an answer. And when you have that mindset shift, when you're a problem solver, you'll always be valued. You'll always know how to, navigate and move in a world that's not always for you, but can be for you. Because like I said, closed mouths don't get fed. So yeah, this was just a really short, lesson. I want to just pop in and let you guys hear from me. There's a lot that's been going on. I'm just really taking things day by day, having this journey and realizing like the biggest thing for me now is not comparing the journey. I think it's hard with social media. I think it's hard when you see other things coming up and they're just, having accolades and setting and achieving milestones that you sometimes wonder, like, what about me? Should I be achieving this? What about me? But you have to just kind of keep your head down and remain focused on what you're building, because your prize is your prize and your time and your timeline is your timeline. And I think that's the beauty of the dream driving journey is we all are in our own cars and other people are driving fast, other people are driving slow, but we're all on this highway. But the thing about it is the highway is not equivalent. Everyone's on the same highway, but they're going somewhere different. So sometimes you may have to go to one exit fast, but the curb, that roundabout to get off the exit might be slow, right? Or, sometimes it's easier for one car to go fast because where they're going, it's going to be hard to get there. So they got to drive fast in the beginning and then they can slow up towards the end. So there's so many different dream driving paths, dream driving journeys that we're all on, but we're all on the road together. And I want you to feel encouraged that wherever you're at, that it's all right. Like, I think it's something I need to hear. So if I need to hear it, I'm going to share it with you as well, listening in. You are all right. You are worthy. You are enough. You're achieving this. Continue doing what you know you need to do. And I think a lot of times we say that we don't know what we need to do, but we know. You know. And just try to look inwards for that courage, right? And I share this whole closed mouths don't get fed because it's really about advocating for yourself. And it's really about just remembering that your voice matters. Your voice matters, and don't count it out.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Dancing crew, trip for two, nailed the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. Boosters designed for COVID-19 variants are now available. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster appointment as soon as you're eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
If you love this episode, you know what to do. Please make sure that you're following us and sharing this episode 327, across all social media. We are Dreams and Drive on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can use the hashtag Dreams and Drive when sharing as well. Also, please, guys, make sure that you are on our email newsletter, The Keys, and get weekly updates via email. Just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join. And if you're at this part of the episode, then you're probably a super listener of the show, a mega fan. I am looking for a website designer, digital social media strategist, content strategist. There's so many things that I'm realizing I cannot do myself anymore, and I'm looking to build my team. So if you're someone who thinks you could be in my team in some way, like pitch me, reach out to me, Rana@dreamsanddrive.com. I really want to revamp and just take everything seriously because, I'm building a legacy, and this is such powerful, there's so much power in all the content that Dreams and Drive has and has been building over the past 7 years, and relationships and all of that. So feel free to connect, feel free to reach out, and just connect with us on social as well. I love seeing all of you guys just interacting that way.